Hello, everybody. How you doing? Happy Halloween. And to celebrate Halloween, I brought to you Brian Pulido 1995 for this Hellwitch Sacrilegious preview. What's up, everybody? Coming at you full on. I got my rings. I got my jacket. I got my kid. This is probably the first time I have worn anything like this. Hell, I even got like my G-Shock watch from the 90s. Don't get it twisted. I got the wallet chain. And not to be outdone, I got my club card. Do you? Check out my number. Club card number 1. So coming at you, your boy, boom. Brian Pulido, 1995, has come on in here to talk about and give you the preview for Hellwitch Sacrilegious. Wow, man, if 1995 ever thought this would happen, well, that's crazy. Back to the future, right? So this is what we're going to do, folks. Over the course of the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to lay it out for you. What's coming up with the Hellwitch program? How do you like the new Unshaved? I don't know. Message us in the comments. Without further ado, I'm here to let you know that Hellwitch Sacrilegious is the 3rd chapter in Hellwitch's fiendish life. It is a 48-page square-bound original graphic novel. And here is the main premiere edition with a cover by the one and only Ed Benes and CC De La Cruz. Right now you see a red logo, or a green logo, but if we're lucky, we'll actually turn that into a green foil logo. Right next to it actually is a nice blank edition. This is made with Strathmore bond paper, and artists seem to like enjoying drawing on those. That one should be fun. Next up, we have our homage, which is clearly homaging the terrific Spawn #1. This is art by Murat Michaels, color by CC De La Cruz, and graphics by the one and only Dan Feldmeyer. Just in case you missed it. Club card #1. Again, it's your boy Brian Pulido from 1995, Halloweening at you today. We got the one and only Paolo Pantalena with Solo Colors doing our hardcover, and that is a facsimile. Love Paolo's work, man. Got a beautiful cover in today. Hey, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. For those of you who don't know, Hellwitch is the story. I think the genre is basically dark fantasy, but it is the story of the ascent of a villain in hell. Hellwitch is actually what we call Hellborn. She's the native population of hell. Characters like Satanists or demons or archdukes of hell, they're all interlopers. They're colonizers. They came long after the Hellborn. And feast your eyes on some of the pages, actually. Here's some of the early pages by Ed Benes. That's page 1, actually. And then right there's page 2 and 3, that beautiful splash, where you see Hellwitch facing off a returning character named Atrocitas, who is a demon-angel hybrid. And then here's page 4. And this is the beautiful pencil work again. What I'd love to show you now is the color. So here's page 1. And as we sit, this book is getting close to pre-press. But of course, we need your help and your support to bring Hellwitch to life. Some nice color by CC De La Cruz. And of course, it's being lettered as we speak by veteran letterer Marshall Dillon. Page 4. This is make no bones about it. This is Hellwitch in prison, and it's a hellified women in prison story. So look, if sex violence and women in prison is not for you, you got to get out. This one ain't for you, so walk on, boy, because that's what we're all about. We are warning people in advance. This is the edgiest book we've done. Our printer is secured. Moving on. Here's the wonderful Jose Varese, Jeremy Clark, and Sanju Nivenjune rocking it out on our first ever Risque Jewel edition. It's Risque, and we're going to jewel it. It'll be jeweled by master jeweler Shannon G, also known as Princess Jewel. Returning to do our Risque cover is the one and only Sun K. So happy to be working with Sun K. I think we're celebrating about 6.5 years of working together. And this will be the Risque cover by Sun. Love the color contrast of her flesh tone, and then that green really pops. And then this is the one and only Richard Ortiz, who we've been working with for onwards of 14 years now. And that's Richard, colored by CC, and this will be our holofoil edition. Now, these editions that we're showing you will actually be limited to quantities backed on our Kickstarter with a little over to allow for loss and damage, because that's always a factor. Next up, we're really proud to present Mike, Chrome, and Sanju doing our 3-part lenticular. Hopefully during the campaign, we'll have a sample to show you. But here's part A, part B, and whoops, part C. I think these guys did a bang-up job on this one. Today, I actually approved the file from the printer, so I'm expecting some samples a little after their week-long celebration. I think it's like the Golden Week in China right now. So our print partner is in China. Next up, what do we got here? Oh, heavy metal. A little more to the heavy metal than meets the eye. First, the art is by Sora Song, and this is an homage to a popular Lady Death image that we called Blood Moon. In fact, by the permission of Sora Song, we actually took the wonderful Richard Ortiz background, the moon and the bats, and added them. This one's going to be limited to 250 copies. Most of our books are serial numbered. If they're not serial numbered, we actually usually write what they're limited to. So that's some of our, what we call some of the base books. So I'd like to also, I'm going to jump around a little bit. Between you, me, and the wall, probably expect a PDF preview on around Friday. So we submitted our Kickstarter for Kickstarter's approval, and you all know what that's about, so we'll see how that goes. Let's say we get the green light, we're sending you the PDF so you can really ruminate. What I'd like to do is jump over here and show you some of the prints that we're offering. And again, I'm coming at you, Brian Pulido, 1995, coming from the past to the future, with my curls, with my G-Shock, with my chaos ring, my chaos shirt, my sun smiley. This is a little promo badge we used to give out at cons. Chaos Rules asked me why. I got my wallet chain, got my shirt. Dang, son. It's probably the first time I've worn any of this stuff since the day. So without further ado, let's move on, show you some prints. First up, this is our commemorative edition print. This is a mock-up, but this is by Ed Bennis and CC De La Cruz. This one is limited to 199 copies. We have been doing a commemorative print to celebrate every one of our Kickstarters, and this is our 21st, I believe, ever since the beginning. And this is our naughty commemorative print. This will be numbered to 250 copies. Artwork by the amazing Sun K. Incredible, love the contrast. And our Legend Edition artist is Mr. Mike Mayhew, so there will be a tier for his print, and that's his interpretation of Hellwitch. I hear gasps in the background already from Brandy Reese, Brandy Sparkles, who's technically not here today. It's her day off, but she's here, and she loves the piece. Is that true?
It's so true.
And then boom. Wow, boom. There goes the dynamite with Colette Turner. And I believe it's the one and only CC De La Cruz. This is a gorgeous image. What I like are some of the callbacks to the Hellwitch symbol. It has a more ritualistic quality. I actually like to think that Hellwitch actually is a spiritual person, but her spirituality is obviously different. If you think about it, she's the opposite of satanic. She is not into that stuff at all. So they have their own religion. Next up, wow, I think Joe Benitez and Beth Sotelo really delivered the goods on this incredible image. Another print that'll be available on our Hellwitch Sacrilegious Kickstarter. And just so you guys know, we offer the prints several ways. You could do pick 5 that you like, pick 8 that you like, or get the ultimate print tier, which would be 13 prints. We also offer them individually. And what will happen is if you choose, let's say, the pick 5, you just choose that tier. And then later on, during the survey period, once the Kickstarter is closed, you'll choose the images that you want. It's really that simple. Next up, whoa, Paolo Pantalena, rocking it out. Paolo's own colors. I love the real fluorescent quality of the colors there. Paolo just turned in another Hellwitch for the future. Woo, so nice. And then, that one and only, that Jesse Witchman, who is known to really push the envelope a little bit. This is Jesse Witchman art. I believe we named the image Subjugation, and colors by Tavon. Fantastic work. Again, more callbacks to her cool symbol. Next up, the aforementioned Blood Moon image. Artwork by Sora Song, Cici de la Cruz, and Richard Ortiz. And it's an homage to Richard Ortiz's work with some of his cool background art in it. Next up, boom, the image by Mike Chrome. That'll be our lenticular. Mike Chrome knocking it out of the park, as he always does. Color by Sanju Nivenjun. Comics bad boy, the OG bad boy, keeping it real, Dan the Man Mendoza. And this image we call Risque Orgy. I warned you guys. Don't get it twisted. You know, there's a little story to us going a little more risque. A couple years ago, I'm talking to Mike McLean, and I'm doing my part of a script, and I'm sending it to him. And instead of curses, I was actually doing what we would do in the 90s, which is ampersand, question mark, exclamation mark, that kind of stuff. Then Mike just said to me, he's like, hey, man, why aren't we just cursing? And I was like, oh, my God, why aren't we just cursing? I mean, who are we answering to? So we just sort of took that as like a liberty. And then also just looking at other massively entertaining art forms, things like Game of Thrones. These guys are getting edgy. So we just I thought we had to bring up our game. So hence, inviting wonderful creators like the one and only Mendoza in his intimidable style. So definitely a women in prison moment with a couple of the ladies that Hellwitch chooses to have relations with. So again, you've been warned. Jose Varice, Jeremy Clark, and Sanju Nivenjun knocking it out of the park. I really like Jose Varice's style. I am warning you right now, on October 23rd, Jose Varice is part of a Halloween-based special project that I think you're going to enjoy. So I'm going to keep it cryptic and vague, but whoa. Next up, bam, the homage to the classic Spawn #1. Could not resist it. Sorry, guilty, love it. What can you say? So Marat Michaels, Cici de la Cruz, and the true genius talent of trade dress by Dan Feldmeyer. And then rounding out the prints we're offering, we have Richard Ortiz, Cici de la Cruz. Great image of complete abandon and dominance. So let's see here. I think we're going to move on. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you guys like to know, are we going to go mystery envelope or chase? Or, that's a very good question. Wow, we have all these. We could show you our legend tier. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I think what I'm going to do is tease you guys and gals with the legend tier. So we have announced that the one and only Mike Mayhew is our legend tier artist. Let's take a look at the editions, which are limited to 66 serial numbered copies. And then, like lunatics, we're actually going to retire the image. The image will not be offered again as a cover. So this is it. Again, Mike Mayhew, print runs, a zillion, 2 zillion. And here we are, like crazy people, offering a limited serial numbered copy, just 66 sets. So may I present to you the Legend Edition by the one and only Mike Mayhew. Followed up by, I love this one, the Noir. So this is actually his initial sketch, and Mike's been great to let us use those. Some artists are sensitive to it, but I just think that the whole spirit of the piece is captured in this minimal amount of lines. I love it. And then the Risque Edition. But that's not all. Our legend here includes one other edition, and that edition shall remain a mystery. So it's a mystery edition that rounds it out. For those of you in the past who've seen us do secret editions or mystery editions, I'd like to think that we always deliver the goods. I stand by this mystery edition. I think people will catch you by surprise. A lot of fun. it was just a pleasant discovery. So I think you'll enjoy it. Now, let's talk about the mystery envelope. Who likes mystery envelopes? They've been really, so Brandy likes them. So they've been proven to be popular. We have a lot of fun doing them, and so this time is no exception. First thing I'd like to tell you is that the Hellwitch mystery envelope will be limited to 666 copies. There will be no edition offered that is more than 50 copies. And we actually put our mystery envelope books inside a very sturdy envelope, which will have a cool sticker on it, and then we seal it with our seal of approval. So let's go down the mystery envelope. First up, we are going to offer several artist proof editions. We're going to offer publisher file copies. We are going to offer several BP editions. And we are going to offer 3 Omega editions. There alone, I think that equals 11 copies. Next, we have the Hellwolf edition. This image is limited to 30 copies in total, 25 of which will be added into the mystery envelope, and then that edition will be retired and there will be no print. So it's a very limited edition. The commissioner of this image is Sean Wolf, an ultra collector, and the image is by Dawn McTague. Dawn McTague. So the only way to get this one is through the mystery envelope. There will be no more than 30. There will be no print. There will be no card. The image is retired. Next up. Whoa. Okay. David Harrigan. Naughty and Risque. Naughty and Risque. These are limited to 40 and 45. David Harrigan knocking it out of the park. Next up, Anthony Spey. Nice and Naughty. Nice and Naughty. Spey, again, limited to 40 and 45 respectfully. Next up, Ken Hunt. Ken Hunt. Nice and Naughty, limited to 40 and 45. Ryan Kincaid. Ryan Kincaid. Nice and Naughty. These are 3 co-starring characters. This is the prison warden, and these are 2 other characters, Lilum, and a character who will be named inside the story. So fun characters. They're all either friends or enemies of Hellwitch in the story. Next up. Wow, these are Infinityverse editions, limited to 40 by Joel Gomez. This is Cyber Hellwitch. Next up, I think that is Ironbound Hellwitch. And then next up, this one is insane. Westwitch Hellwitch. Love this. Joel doing his color. Joel Gomez in his own class. Amazing. A unique American original. And next up, Risque Cauldron Edition by Jesse Witchman. Jesse Witchman. This image may be familiar to people from the first ever campaign, but we have never published the Risque edition, and this one will be limited to only 45 copies. What am I thinking? Then, boom, coming on back, the Necro editions by the one and only Dan Mendoza. We've offered 2 per campaign for all 3 so far of the Hellwitch campaigns. These are limited to 40 copies. Cool sketch covers printed on black by the one and only Dan Mendoza. And then finally, we have underneath this a mystery edition. That's true. We're rounding out our mystery envelope with a mystery edition because I like doing it. So as some of you guys and gals know, we have things that we call upper tiers. So things like the High Roller, the Mega Baller, and the Legend tier, and those come with extra comic books. So let's discuss them. But before we do, let's talk about the tier that was created just for Dan Mendoza. And this one is called the Orgy Editions. First up, this is a nice orgy. It's a nice one. That's right. Next up, and they're not always nice, but they, I don't think, just speaking from long time experience, like orgies are complicated. It's very hard for everybody to kind of get what they want out of them. But it's from another time. And then Brandy's upset. She's Brandy's like HR over here. She got to have more experience, right? So anyway, you got to have more experience to enjoy them. Anyway, so it sounds great on paper. This is the Oops edition, the Oops edition. And then this is the one and only Risque edition. I like the progression of the 3 images. These will be offered in serial numbered sets. They will be limited to sets ordered. They will be offered for $69. Now, some of you may be watching this live video, and the first thing that's probably coming up for you is, who's this dude with the hair? Well, this is Brian Pulido, 1995. Back in the day, I'm wearing my varsity jacket. I got my Chaos ring. I got my G-Shock watch. I got my wallet chain. I'm wearing my shield. I got my smiley, and I got the hair. So that's who you're talking to. But this is me 20 years ago, showing up to give Brian Pulido, the president, a break to present this Hellwitch stuff to you. But some of you guys and gals out there may not be familiar with our work or Hellwitch. Yeah, so for that reason, we actually offer a tier where we offer the previous Premier editions. Premier editions are the editions that we... Oh, hang on a second here. Let me do this. Premier editions are the editions that we do tend to print over on, and that way people could jump on board and read. So that's Chapter 1, Hellborn, Chapter 2, The Forsaken, and then Chapter 3, which is the one we're offering now, called Sacrilegious. And by announcement, we've already let people know that Chapter 4 is Hellwitch versus Lady Death, Wargasm #1. So get ready. Don't get it twisted, man. People love the fine art prints, so we're offering one we call Fire Starter. And that one is with art by the one and only Mike Mayhew. And this makes a lovely companion piece for the Mike Mayhew Lady Death image that was just offered during Treacherous Infamy. So, again, upper tier. So let's talk about it. Exclusive book for our Mega Baller is going to be the Risque Subjugation Edition. This will be offered in cardstock and suitable for grading. Next up is the Metallic Jewel. This is by Jesse Witchman, colored by Tavon, and will be jeweled by Shannon G, aka Princess Jewel, Master Jeweler. And I'm sure as the campaign goes along, we'll get some jewels on them. Another upper tier book, boom. Call this one Risque Voyeur. Risque Voyeur by Joe Benitez and Beth Sotelo. Whoa. Just my opinion. Whoa. And rounding out our Mega Baller tier is the Risque Ritual Edition by Colette Turner. Colors by CC De La Cruz. Now, another cool thing that we love to do is part of our high roller. And our high roller will actually be every one of these editions, one mystery envelope, and one of these. And what these are the chase editions. So check them out. We continue the Coffin Co. concept, and now it's true. Every one of our characters will have had their own paper Coffin Co. These editions, the overall is limited to 366, and the individual colors are limited to 60. So we got the red, we got the violet, we got the green, we got the gold, we got the, is that violet? Yeah. And then we got the, we're calling it white. Now, those are limited to 60, but to make it really, really fun, we do an Omega. It's an edition actually limited to 1. And we tip them in. You have a shot at them. There's the red, limited to 1, and that is our Omega symbol. Blue. Green. Gold. Purple. And white. Holy guacamole, everybody. What do you think of the preview so far? Now look, we're Coffin Comics. And if we get approved by Kickstarter, we're setting this puppy off on October 14th at 7 p.m. But if you think you've seen it all, you really don't know Coffin Comics, because you know what we do. We say, expect the unexpected. So look, in conclusion, what I want to show you is the metallic cards. So let's get right to it. First thing I'd like to show you is you'll notice there's 6. Up until now, Coffin Comics has offered 5 metallic cards in the set of each campaign. And now we're moving to 6 cards and no additional price. So now you get 1 extra card free right out of the box. And these are the official campaign cards. So here we go. You got your Fire Starter by Mike Mayhew. You got your Risque Ritual by Colette. And you got your Lenticular Image. You got the super cool Joe Benitez. These are going to be limited to 99 serial numbered copies. Brandy Sparkles, do we usually number match those?
Yes, they are all number matching. So
the 6 cards will actually have the matching serial numbers. And then rounding off the official set is Risque Subjugation. Risque Subjugation by the one and only Jesse Witchman and Tavon. So folks, here we are. 7 days to go. Hellwitch Sacrilegious. Mature content. Not for children. You've been warned. In conclusion, this is Brian Pulido, 1995, with his original club card. Great artwork by the immortal Stephen Hughes. Club member number 1. Wearing my Chaos ring. Got my G-Shock. Got my wallet chain. And all the goodies, man. You guys have been great. I've been Brian Pulido. I cordially invite you to be there next week when we do our Hellwitch launch. And expect the unexpected.